Hi there, this is Patty, the Tinker's wife, here at Tinker's Paradise in Portland, Oregon. It's been overcast and drizzly this morning. The garden looks nice and fresh, and I'm a little on the damp side. Yeah, it's a great day here in the Pacific Northwest. We had another electrical storm last night. I understand there was something struck, but there wasn't any fires. Yay! Last week we did have a tornado sighting or two, and there was a structure fire and trees taken out and wind, hail, and all those other things. I recapped it real quick from my last week's video. That was last Wednesday. So we don't normally get this kind of weather in June, and I know this because I've gardened a long time, and I have not received damage like this in my garden ever. I don't remember it growing up either. I mean, lived here since I was 12. Yep. So I've lived here 51 years. That's a while. Since 1968. We missed the big Columbus Day storm where fir trees literally blew down like matchsticks. That was an insane time. I heard all kinds of stories about it. My husband and his family went through it. A lot of other people that I know went through it, but I did not have to, nor did my parents. We were in Idaho, so we missed all that. Anyway, enough about that. My arm's a little tired. I'm a little tired. I got to figure out how to hold this camera a little better, so excuse me for just a second here. I think that'll be better. Please forgive any shakiness. I have not figured out how to get this camera to stabilize. I don't even know if it will stabilize. It's a phone camera on my Samsung phone. And it's like a 2015 version. We got a good deal on our phones, so hey, why not? Our first cell phones. I've loved having them, and now that I'm doing YouTube, I love it even more. Though I would love to have a camera on a tripod sometimes. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm kind of rambling here. This is what happens when I don't get enough sleep or didn't sleep well enough. Yep. So I woke up at 1:30 this morning, and some guy was driving by on the street in front of our house, and it sounded like half of his car was driving behind him on the pavement. No wheels, literally. I don't know if he was dragging his bumper or what it was, but it was loud. That's all I can tell you. It was pretty loud. It's just so nice out here. I really enjoy this. So nice. It's cool. It's going to be in the 80s tomorrow. Probably rather humid after all of the rain. It won't be anything like it is down south there, y'all. Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, all you southern states, Georgia, where you walk out the door and it's like, why did I dry off from the shower? I've been in Iowa when it's been like that, so I can kind of relate, but I don't have to live in that weather, and I'm very grateful because I don't do heat, and especially humid heat, well at all. Well, anyway, let's talk about something besides that, okay? Now, I don't know if you know this. I am not really a homesteader per se. I think homestead has a lot of, how do I say? You can be religious about homesteading, or you can take on the spirit of homesteading, which I think we do here. We don't have chickens because of the number of predators that we have in this area particularly. We have raccoons that run right through our yard. I'm going to have to support my arm because my shoulder's hurting now. Anyway, we have raccoons that run right through our yard. We have coyotes that run our neighborhoods, and a 6-foot wood fence will not keep a coyote out. They hop right over them like it's nobody's business. So I'm not even going to go there. We could probably build a really good coop, but we don't have room with the Tinkerer's projects. That's the other part of this. Now, if he pares down on his project, collection and sells off some of the stuff, we might be able to have chickens. But we're going to build Fort Knox is what we're going to do, because the predator situation. We also have rats. And I remember our neighbor's chickens with rats in the chicken coop with their chickens. And I'm not going to put up with that. Nope. I want the eggs for my chickens, and I want the chickens healthy and happy, and I won't do that to chickens. So, anyway, I'm kind of on a pick today. Let's focus on something pretty. How about that? I'm going to show you this flower down here. Now, I know we all grow vegetables and we grow things that we like to eat, but do you ever grow things just because they're cool looking or they're pretty? I do. I know some of you girls do, and maybe some of you guys too. How about that? That is an eggplant flower. Who knew those things were so pretty? I mean, that rivals petunias in my book. And the benefit of this is you get food. One of these days, oops, I'm going to be, sorry, I'm really screwing up here. One of these days, these guys are going to be making babies. Yes. Rondinese squash. It's a type of like a zucchini that's round. And oh, this one's, I'm so looking forward to this one. That little custard squash. That one I'm really looking forward to. I've had a few ground cherries already. The kids love them. Fed them to some family that stopped by last week. Little update on how things are going over here. We'll do this and then we'll go to something else that's fun. Looky there. We've got liftoff. It won't be long. It'll be going up the wire here. That's damage from last week, if in case anybody wants to know what that is. So I've got enough different types of beans. I'm not worried about having this filled with beans. And the other thing is, right across the street here, we have Trombosino squash, which is going to probably take over most of this bean trellis. You can see the tomatoes. They liked the rain the other day. Look at them. They look as happy as clams. Are clams happy? We use that term all the time, happy as a clam. Really? Just thought of that. We use some funny terms, don't we? I like words and I like things like that. Figure out where did that originally come from. I may share that later when I find out. This is rat-tail radish. This will grow up and have branches and have little pods on it instead of the little bulb. And the pods are tasty and they're really good for dip trays. For those of you who haven't heard that yet. And I'll show that. I'm going to try not talk about that again because I talk about it all the time. But I'll try to wait until it actually gets some pods on it next time before I share about it again. Oh, and this is, I'm going to use this to just kind of, to just show you guys. I've got to get rid of the word kinda. I use that too much. This is honeywort or Cerinthe major. It's got another name, 2 or 3 other names. Common names are dangerous, but Cerinthe major is the Latin name. Not hard to say, pretty much like it looks. So, but the leaves on it are normally more that color of blue, more like that, and not this pale yellow. That pale yellow is because they were in containers too long, and I ended up with with a crazy sprained ankle that kept me from doing what I needed to do for 2 months. So I didn't get things fed. The little herbs in here last night. This sweet mace, and I've got, this is a tea herb here, another one over here, and I cannot remember which one those are, so forgive me. Didn't sleep good last night. Actually, I want to say, I'm just getting older. When I was working in the nursery industry, I could flip off names like crazy, and I remembered the Latin names and couldn't remember the common names, which when you're working with the public can be kind of a bad thing. But I would always tell them, and this is a true thing, that if you learn the Latin names and then you go to find a plant by that Latin name, you'll always get the right plant if it's labeled properly. This is that Chenopodium I was telling you about. The reason I'm back over here again talking about it yet again today is because of this stuff. I want you to take note of this stuff. It rubs off. That is actually, oops, it's not going to do it. I got to get this down here, I guess. See if I can get it to, I should do it on my fingers. Maybe my fingers will show up better. There we go. That's better. That's actually a coating of little wax balls. And these are definitely pink, definitely magenta. I had it in some water yesterday just to see what it would do, and it did give the water a very slight pink color, but nothing you really want to play with. I'm just saying, I like doing weird things like that to see what they'll do. I also ate the top off of this one. I just snipped it off because I want this to branch out more instead of getting so tall. I want it to be wider. Well, it really didn't give it any different mouthfeel or any different flavor or anything, so don't have to worry about eating it at all. But it does have a nice flavor and a good texture, not as soft as regular spinach, but it does have a spinach flavor. Looky here. It seemed like forever. These were going to take forever, right? How many of y'all think that your gardens are taking forever? Or that when you planted them, they were taking forever? Well, join the Helicopter Parent Gardener Club. I think we need a t-shirt. Zack Stivers used that term over at Stivers Homestead, and I can so relate to that because I've been kind of the helicopter parent of my garden. This year particularly, I had to wait for it to be built, and so I was like more than ready for it to go rocking and rolling. These are some beans, and this is odd. I'm hoping that'll green up. They're just not, but this one looks nice and green. They're the same kind of beans. These things happen. African blue basil. Love those flowers on there. They're so pretty. Wish they showed up better. Yep, maybe they will now. There we go. They're beautiful. The bees are all over this when it's a little nicer out. I saw several on it yesterday. Radishes took off. Let me show you this. I've got that pink celery over there, the Chinese pink celery, which, yes, indeed, it is pink. But look at what I've got going on here. This guy is going to flower. He's got a flower head there. I'm going to let it flower because I think it's going to be a plant we're going to enjoy, and I want to also collect seeds. So this isn't a loss, and I can still use the leaves and the stems for cooking. So if your plants flower, don't think that you just need to tear them up and throw them in the compost. You don't. Now, if you want to, that's fine. If you got a lot of other stuff you can eat, but if you've got a small garden like I do, you want to get every bit out of it that you can. And so take a second look at it. You know, you do have the seeds, you do have parts of the plant. So yeah, there's no reason to fret. Sometimes, not on this, but on some things you can pull a flower off. You can eat the stem with the flower on it. I do that with my kale all the time. I love kale. The stems of it, they're just really lovely. Ooh, speaking of lovely, I love when this happens. Look at that. Is that not cool? That is so cool. So I've pretty much decided I'm going to go ahead and plant at least 2 more of my collard trees. That's what that is right there. It's a red collard tree. Rumor has it that it's kind of the same thing as the kale, but I don't think so. Their leaves are different, so I don't think so. I mean, jury's out. I don't know. Do you guys know? Another plant I wanted to show you right here. I've shown this before. Some of you that are new won't recognize it, but or maybe you do, especially if you're into herbs. This is Plantago major rubra, a red form. It came on the Portland market here a few years ago. I laughed and said, "Oh, great, designer weeds. That's great." But guess who bought one? Me. My original one died. I gave a friend some seeds and gave away all the seeds I had. So I hadn't had it until this year when it came up in one of my barrels had some compost from her garden. So now I have, or will have, seeds to share with others. So if you would like some, you're welcome to message me. I would go to my Instagram. You can message me via Instagram. I think I've got my Facebook link. It's Patty_Hicks, and that's Patty with a Y. And you can message me there if you want to, through Messenger. I do not have Messenger on my phone, just so you know. A lot of people like Messenger on their phone. I don't, because it's connected to Facebook, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to send those crazy, the crazy forwarded, oh my gosh, we're going to die things if you don't do this, or look out for this creep or that creep, and most of the time the creep isn't even a real creep. It's some guy that's just trying to scam everybody. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't have Messenger for that reason. I like my life a little more simple. So, anyway, this jar here, I don't think I showed this yet. This is a soil test. Oh, come on, stop that. It's a test to see what kind of soil I have in my beds. Now, I've been a little upset about the soil that I have in my beds because we got all that rain. I'm going to go on this side, maybe I can get a better picture of it. We've had all that rain, and I got these big flipping cracks in it, and I'm like, what? This is supposed to be like a three-way mix, half compost. So I'm checking it out because I want to know how much sand I have. It looks like there's a lot of sand coming up here. That's all sand there. You can see the line of demarcation. Then there's what looks like clay, possibly. And then there will be a silty layer. And then there will be the organic matter up on top, which appears to be mostly wood, which makes me not happy because that's not compost. That is not compost. Usually they grind up the wood, fine. So, with that said, I am going to have to add peat moss to this, which is what I was going to do earlier this year and didn't. That was a dumb thing on my part. But again, you can only do what you can do with a sprained ankle. So, we'll do that later. Best laid plans, right? Sorry about the hand. I think I better quit here. I'm want to just go back in and get some lunch and crash for a while. I want to thank you for spending the time out here with me, listening to me ramble. And I wish I had the camera turned around right now because there's a little hummingbird up on the hummingbird feeder. We'll probably get him another day though. I'm going to leave that for now. So anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you, all of you subscribers. I'm now over 160 subscribers, and that just blows my mind. Thank you for your comments. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And I would say, no, I don't want to say that. I would say if you have a question, you're welcome to leave it in the comments. I do read all the comments, and I will answer the comments to the best of my ability. And I want to thank you all for your support. It does mean a lot. It gives me a place to share the knowledge I have and just spend time with people. I know you're real people out there, believe it or not. So I'm also getting friends here on YouTube, which is really exciting. It is a good place to make friends. The internet has just opened up a wide avenue of friendship. So don't ever think you can't have real friends online. You can. But with that said, I just want to wish you all a very lovely Tuesday. I hope that you have a blessed afternoon and evening. Thanks again. This is Patty, the Tinkerer's wife, at Tinkerer's Paradise, signing off. God bless.